Hello, how are you doing? You alright, guys? Stephen here, back with another video, the third one of the day. Who's been with me the entire way? If you've been with me the entire way, put your hands up in the chat. Who's been here? Me at 7 in the morning, looking incredibly dishevelled. Me at 10 in the morning, looking not quite as dishevelled. And me now looking a little bit dishevelled. I've had a shower since then, since my breakdown during the Donnarumma stream. It's been a busy day. City entirely's been there. Hello, critical hit as well. Thanks, guys. You guys, by the way, are just fucking awesome. I really appreciate when people join in for the live streams. It's massively appreciated. Ian as well is there. I think I've had a shower since then. I've had a coffee and some food, so I think I don't look quite as bad as I did then. I've changed my pajama t-shirts that I was wearing, so there we go. Anyway, we are live again because another treble winner is moving on from Manchester City Football Club. I chose those words intentionally because another treble winner, which is it's like we gloss over that because it's just Akanji, but he's another treble winner, another immense amount of experience, another player of stature, of success. He's been a great signing for Manchester City. Another treble winner going. And that's the thing. We can't ignore what that will have on this side. I'll go over to the news anyway. I'll get the news up on screen. But it is it's the right time to go, but it's a lot. It's an awful lot, isn't it? So it all sort of exploded from Fabrizio Romano about half an hour ago. I was out in the car actually, going for a drive to get my son to sleep because he needs to sleep. And it was a successful car drive, by the way. It says exclusive Inter agreed deal with Manchester City to sign Manuel Akanji. Here we go. 2 million loan fee, 15 million euros buy option clause to become mandatory only under difficult conditions. Akanji set for medical now as he agreed to the move. What those difficult conditions could be, I don't really know. Maybe it's like playing like 80% of games, something like that. I don't know. But it's, here we go. It's all done, basically. Oh, there we go. It's not that difficult. Oh, if Inter wins Serie A this season, that is, I was about to say 50% of the games is easy. But if Inter win the Serie A this season, they will have to sign him. Well, they're not going to sign him, are they? Because obviously Kev De Bruyne, De Bruyne, Kevin McTominay, what was I saying the other day? DeTominay, that's it. DeTominay. Kevin DeTominay is going to win the league, obviously. God, I'm tired, man. But yeah, I think obviously Inter won't win the league. Maybe they will. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's difficult, but not impossible. Either way, Akanji clearly is about to leave, and I'd be amazed if Akanji came back next season. So this is essentially Akanji's departure from Manchester City Football Club, and it's a great move for Akanji. It is. Inter, look, he's already tried to win the Champions League for Inter already. Probably a little bit harsh that in the final. But Akanji signed. When did he sign? How long ago was it now? It was the season of the treble, so 22-23, right? I bring up Akanji's stats in Manchester City. Yeah, he joined for a fee of around 15 million quid in September 2022. 3 years later, on to the day actually, on the 1st of September, he's leaving to join Inter Milan. So 3 years to the day. And he's had a really, really, really impressive time at Manchester City Football Club. He dropped a little bit last season and season before, but he was a big part of this Manchester City side that went on to achieve an awful lot. 48 games in the treble winning season, 48 in the season after, and 40 last season. His form did dip after the treble, I'm not going to lie. But when you consider what we paid for Akanji, £15 million, it was a cracking signing in the end. It was a really smart signing that added an awful lot. Akanji, when he first joined, was a 50, 60, 70 million pound player quality in today's market. I'm not even exaggerating. Like £50 million, I think, would have been a fair fee for the Akanji we got of the treble season, we made the signing very astute and very smart. It did feel like with Akanji and many other players, they did lose a little bit of momentum the season after that, which is probably the case. I've talked a little bit about how hard it is to maintain that standards, and I do feel the problem we've got is that once your players climb top of the mountain, they get to the very top. They go all the way up and up and up and up and up and up, and they get there. To stay there is really hard. Naturally, you just come down a little bit, and I think that's what happened with Akanji. I think that's what happened with Ederson. I think it's happened with Diaz a little bit. A lot of players, Grealish, it happened with most people. So it's one of those things where, unfortunately, he's moving on. It's a necessary move in terms of logistics as well. We have to move on a non-homegrown player. We just have to, otherwise we won't be able to register one of them. As it currently stands as well, Ortega won't be registered for the Champions League. I think this sort of sorts out the squad balance. It would imply that Ilkay Gundogan's going to stay, unless we do move on someone like Gundogan last minute, which I don't think we will do. Gundogan would have to move on today if we were going to sign a right back that wasn't homegrown, but it's not going to happen. Like, the chances of a right back signing at this point seem tiny, don't they? I would love it, don't get me wrong, but they seem absolutely tiny. So it's one of those things where we have to accept that this is a necessary transfer. A lot of people rate Akanji more than others, and like, I actually do rate Akanji. I think there was a decent chance that Akanji, in a side that was a little bit more focused, might have been quite useful this season. But that idea of City being more focused is, it's hard to prove that would be the case. Akanji wasn't great last year, but he was also injured an awful lot. So, who knows, man? Who knows? It's hard to say. Akanji, yeah, we're moving on with Kusanov. I'd rather Kusanov play than Akanji, personally. I think Kusanov is the future. I actually tweeted earlier that maybe we'd see the Akanji right-back arc. But Akanji, unfortunately, I actually think Akanji would have been a better bet. How many times can I say Akanji in one video? Akanji. I feel like he would have been a better bet at right-back than some of the options we've got, if I'm being totally honest with you. I mean, he's more physical than Rico Lewis. He's better defensively than Nunes. Obviously, Rico's better on the ball. Nunes is better going forward, but Akanji would have been the most reliable, probably at right back. I know he wouldn't offer much going forward, but we would have been solid defensively, I think, with him there. He, of course, played right back in the Champions League final. Kyle Walker on the bench in that game, he came on, of course, and played his part. But it's one of those things where I think right now we could have potentially done with the experience. It's gone, it's happened, it's done. It's probably the right time to move on. But it's another player moving on. And there's so many players moved on from this side so quickly that I do feel we're going to feel it. We're going to feel the pinch of this. It's necessary. But as I keep saying, we've made our bed and we're going to have to lie in it, unfortunately. My expectations are dramatically shifting right now. It's how I feel. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe... I think I'm going to feel cautious now until I have a reason not to be, if that makes sense. I'm an optimistic person, and I largely trust that we've signed some good players. But the thing is, there's no guarantee good players are going to become great players. Because usually, good players become great players when they're in a really settled environment, surrounded by quality to nurture them and lead the way. For example, Rodri. Rodri was in an environment where, of course, Fernandinho was there, but he was also playing alongside Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan. We were a much better side, and that nurtured him, helped him. Whereas Reinders is coming into a bit of a shit show, if I'm being honest. I know Gundogan's there. Sorry, I know Rodri's there. But Rodri, is not... We haven't got Pete Kevin De Bruyne alongside him. We haven't got Pete Gundogan alongside him. Foden, who knows what's going on with Foden these days. It could massively pick up. It absolutely could. I agree with that in the chat, and you're right, Heck. But I guess there's no guarantee. Because I do maintain when you get loads of new players, you lean on other players. And I do worry that we haven't got a lot of players to lean on at the moment. Maybe we'll fast forward into a scenario where, Vardiol's back in the side. He's playing alongside Diaz, and maybe we've shifted Kusanov at right back, and we've gone for that, actually. We play a back three. But at City, like I said there, an entire midfield, wingers, half the back line, it's a brand new squad. And I guess where I'm at right now is I feel... I'm normally optimistic, but the extent of the changes is definitely hitting home, and I feel cautious now. Like, I don't feel optimistic. I'm not going to abandon hope, but man, I'm going to urge on the side of we're actually in for a bit of a battle here until I know that we're going to turn the corner, if that makes sense. I think that's probably a fair place to be. I'm not an eternal pessimist, but I'm not going to be an eternal optimist at the same time. I think there's too many variables that I don't understand the answers to. And there's a few players that I don't think are up to scratch and I worry about. Stephen, do you think we have a squad lacking a lot of technical ability compared to previous years? Absolutely. I mean, I've said that for a while. I said the biggest Aim low and avoid disappointment. Yeah, that's my life. That's my life motto. My biggest worry about midfield for a long time was that I think we dropped off massively in terms of technical quality. The amount of criticism I got for the fucking my Nunes stance over the years, it's just drove me mad because it's eventually we'll all catch up. And I've maintained he's done a good job as an auxiliary left winger and an auxiliary right back. But he's never ever been ever shown that he's good enough to start for Manchester City Football Club. And I don't mind squad players, but largely I do want players that I feel that one day could be good enough to start for the team in the squad. If they, like for example, when our squad plays with Gabriel Jesus, I don't think it was ever beyond the realms of possibility that he could be good enough to be a Manchester City starter with a little bit of luck. Likewise, when we had bloody wingers rotating of the quality of Mahrez, Sterling and Sane. And when we had Danilo playing as a backup to our fullbacks. Like Danilo was a Brazilian international and like with loads of experience, he played loads of great clubs and this is the thing, like our backup previous was Danilo, and now it's Rico Lewis or Nunes. Like Danilo's miles better than any of those players, and that's what I'm on about in terms of the standards. And I think there's a few players where I just don't think and previously we were rotating centre backs of Otamendi and Laporte and Kompany and Stones. All of them had the ability to be great players, and I don't think all of our players currently. I'm not sure all of them have the ability to be great players. Maybe some do. Maybe some do. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but my gut is telling me that a few. I don't know if they can be. So I guess the long story short of that is I'm just a bit cautious right now. And Akanji going is the right move. But when you really start to think about it, the treble winning squad, I'm going to bring it up on screen. Man City, Inter, Champions League final. Let's have a look at that squad. Why have I got curb enthusiasm in my head? That's probably why, because I'm curbing my own enthusiasm all the time. Let me bring it up on the screen. Where's the lineups? That's a bit small. What's that about? So here we go. Here's your final team, Champions League final side. So Ederson, Diaz and Ake, Stones, Rodri, Bernardo, Haaland, Gundo. A few of them exist still, admittedly. But how many exist to the level? So half of that team is gone. Sorry. If you look at the bench as well. Basically all that bench is gone. Not all of it. Carson, Palmer, Gomez. I'll tell you probably about to. Alvarez, Laporte, Mahrez, Calvin, I would say, is gone. Peroni. It's been a massive churn, hasn't he? An absurd churn. Kyle Walker, of course, as well. Came on, he's gone as well. It's a hell of a churn. So let's look at that squad, basically. How many players there? 11, and on the bench you had 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, 23 people there. How many of the squad actually remain from that? So remain. I'm not going to count Calvin Phillips as remaining because he's fucking done. You're stupid. Rico Lewis remains. Or Ortega's gone too, let's be honest. He won't even put. Foden remains. Gundogan remains technically. Haaland remains. Bernardo remains. Stones. Rodri. Ake, Diaz. 8 of them remain out of the 23. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's an absolute absurd churn of players. It's actually, to be honest, that's in 2 years as well. It'd be fine if we'd bought a whole bunch of players. And by the way, just as a sort of thought, I'm gonna just as a little kind of game, I'm gonna imagine the players that we should have signed. Do you know what I was dreaming about earlier, daydreaming? And this is not even in a negative way. I was right about Cole Palmer, by the way. Bloody knew it. Do you remember when I did that video about being devastated? Everyone was like, 50 million is good money. And I was like, I'm really gutted today. I'm truly gutted because I know how good he's going to be. And I was bloody right. And it was so annoying. Everyone was like, no, he's 45 million, he wants to go. I was like, you shouldn't be going. We should say, no, you're staying because you're too good and we should be playing him. But if I go back to the players that I would have signed, Bruno Guimaraes would have been a no-brainer for me. I mean, Bruno Guimaraes, two years ago, Bruno Guimaraes would have been a fantastic player. He would have been aggressive, physical. He would have been brilliant. Bruno Guimaraes, João Neves. If we'd signed João Neves, Bruno Guimaraes, And we had Rodri too. Imagine how good our midfield would have been. I know we tried to sign Bellingham, but I don't think Bellingham would have been right for City, actually, weirdly. But no, not Bruno Guimaraes now, but what about 2 years ago? 2 years ago, Bruno Guimaraes, a year ago, João Neves would have been great. Kvaratskhelia, gone for him big time. Instead of Doku, just fucking forced the hand and gone for Kvaratskhelia. He would have been amazing. Olise from Palace. Imagine the side. Right back, Livramento a year ago instead of now. And all of a sudden, you got a side of just... We would have spent 350 million, but I think we would have been a wonderful side. 400 million maybe. And I just imagining the glory of that, how special it would have been. Look, you don't know until you know, and I maintain a lot of people have gone, Stephen, you kept saying trust the ball, blah blah blah. I mean, I was right to say that. Fundamentally, I was right to say let's give the board that have achieved so much a chance to prove themselves. Like, you don't prove. I didn't know they'd failed until they failed, and ultimately now in hindsight, we can sit there and go, yeah, they've got some mistakes here. But they deserved our respect given everything they've achieved, clearly. So I wasn't wrong to disrespect them. Sometimes you've got to give someone a chance, to actually make a mistake before you presume they have done. And I look around and I see players that we could have signed, and I think, God, imagine we were sat there now with a team of of those guys in the team. You've got Livramento right back, and you've got... fuck knows, you got Olise on the right wing, Kvaratskhelia on the left. Then you've got a midfield of Rodri, João Neves, Bruno, just bullying everyone in midfield with Haaland, Foden, and everyone else. I don't know. I still think there is something to be said for this City side that we could happen. I do think we can get better. I suspect we will get better. I maintain, even though I'm being negative right now, Guardiola sides are finely tuned machines. They take a long time to get going for a while. Paqueta would have been a decent fit. I don't know how good Paqueta would have been. I'm not sure if he's still elite level. I think he's another... I think Paqueta's level is maybe Kovacic at his best. Kovacic was a good player, but is he a special player? No. Kovacic is not a special player. I think Gundogan at his best was special. David Silva... Gundogan was an excellent player, but we had special players. Rodri, De Bruyne, Silva, special. Paqueta's not a special footballer. Is he a special Really? Paqueta's special, is he? If he's special, why has he gone to Aston Villa? I don't know if he is. I think he's very good. I think he's Kovacic level. I think he's an 8 out of 10 footballer, but I don't think he's special. I think I would have liked him back then, but I don't know, man. I don't know if he's special. I think he's been a bit wasteful, and he could have thrived. He could have been really good, but at the time it felt like he was the right move. But I do feel like there's there's peaks and troughs. Yeah, between Cover and Gundo, maybe. Don't forget, Kovacic has played at the highest level for an awful long time. As much as we all play down Kovacic, Paqueta would kill for Kovacic's career, which is factual, He might be an 8 now. Kovacic is a 7 now, but I don't know. At the best, I don't know. Don't forget, Kovacic was Chelsea's Player of the Year when they won the Champions League that season. But, I think, yeah. I would love to keep dreaming about them. I'm not saying we sign them, mate. You've missed the point. I was just saying, if we'd gone back and we could rewrite the scripts and gone for these proven quality ones, what would it have looked like? So, how do we fix it, man? I'm just gonna daydream a bit here now. So, what does it look like? What does our best team look like? Is it? I don't even know. I do think I have actually relaxed on my Donnarumma. I've had a Donnarumma cycle today. I've gone around Donnarumma. Oh, Donnarumma. Can he... Stop it. That's singing Simpsons. Dr. Zayas. So, literally 10 of you out of 380 watching get that reference. Can he play the piano anymore? Of course he can. Well, I couldn't before. I'm going to be singing that forever now. I'm so sorry for everyone. Donnarumma. Wharton, Balaban, Livramento would be very nice, mate. Can he play from the back anymore? Well, of course I can. Well, I couldn't before. I hit every fan I see in row A to Rosie. Well, they finally made a passer out of me. God, I feel like I'm going to break down on the stream again. Not Dr. Seuss, Dr. Zaius. It's a Planet of the Apes reference from Simpsons. It's the greatest episode. It's like my favourite Simpsons episode, probably. It's one of the funniest sketches of all time, in my opinion. Leifa Radaby, I've relaxed about. Do you reckon, Chris? Yeah, do you reckon, mate? Absolutely. No. I went to Starbucks. I never got a Starbucks, but I needed it. Needed a coffee, and it's like £5 for a coffee these days. It's ridiculous, but I really needed a coffee. I am hoping, by the way. So I'm hoping. I'm gonna go back over here. I am hoping eventually the way the team settles is Nori settles in. You got Donnarumma there. Geezer's at right back. I don't know who Geezer's going to be. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna put. I don't. I think we definitely need the physicality of. I'm gonna put Foden in the team for now. I would love it if, Shirky or whatever. Who can be right back in the Geezer season? It's just Geezer at right back. I don't know. I've gotten around to the idea of Akanji. Maybe Stones is there right back now. Trying Stones all right these days. It's going to be Nunes, isn't it? Oh, I'm really down on Nunes and Rico at the moment. I am. Zaki's at right back. Zaki in the chat said, put me right back. Zaki. So what do we reckon? Zaki got it. Zaki, you're in the right back, mate. who's playing left back in it? You guys want... Zaki's at right back in the chat. Thank you. That's very kind of you, Matt. That's really kind of you, mate. Cheers, pal. I'm just a normal human being, and I just like chatting to people, so that's why I do these. Pyre XP's playing at left back. Pyre, there you go, mate. You're at left back. Who wants to play centre back? I'm putting you all in the team. Go on, we're doing this together. Sandeep's playing centre back. There you go, Sandeep, mate. There you go. Who else is playing centre back? Heck can play. Hexin. There you go. Who wants to play holding midfield? Some might say he's holding. Oh, some might say you're in. There we go, mate. Pogo requested a position. Pogo at right wing. Hope your product's good, mate. Josh wants to go in net. There we go, mate. There you go, Josh. I love Sergeant Tom was like, I'll just go on the bench. Sergeant Tom was like, hey, I'm shite, mate. Harrison Benson's going to centre midfield. There we go, lad. Wakar really wants to be somewhere. Wakar, you can be there you go, mate. You can be there. Chris Kitman, Ryan wants to be striker. There we go. Ryan wants to be striker. We need a left winger, lads. Who's what left wing? There we go. Luke said left wing. The first one who said it, Luke Murphy. There you go, lads. There's your side. Where are we finishing? Some might say you might pogo around the pyre and think, what the heck? There we go, lads. We'll win the quadruple. We're gonna do it, guys. Rudy's gonna be the water boy. This is our therapy chat. How we survive. City post 150 charges. Treble repeat. This is exactly what we've been reduced to, mate. Absolutely. Rudy's gonna be the water boy. Thank you so much for the super chat, mate. Absolutely. Well, with the Americanization of sports, of the way we're going, mate, we need a water boy these days. Thank you so much, mate. Guys, you superstars. Fire's just left already. He's left. Oh, mate, obligation to buy. I'll put down and run him back anyway. What do we actually reckon, though? Like, genuinely in the chat, right back. Like, what is going to be the solution this season? Who is going to play? Who is going to play the most games at right back? And I think Kusanov, by the way, is actually a nailed-on starter alongside Vardiol. I truly do. I think Kusanov's going to play an awful lot of football. Who do we think is going to play often? Rodri will. Reinders definitely will. I think Marmouche right now, I know he's inconsistent, but I think Marmouche is actually the right shout. Bob had a poor game the other day and people downed him. I'm putting him back there right now. Who's going to play the most games at right back, do you reckon? Rico and Kusanov. Do we really think... Love Fire, sorry. Do you really think that... I would like Nico in, by the way. I would really like Nico because he's so aggressive and I think we're going to need it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of Shirky out here, you know. Him tucking in. I think it's going to be Nunes. I think we're going to see Nunes play the most games at right back. And I think what we might see is this. We'll see a shape like this when he's tucked in a little bit. He's tucked in. I would quite like the aggression of this personally, you know. And Foden can play with Shirky as well, you know, sort of like this. I don't even know. Rock and a hard place, isn't it, really? Savinho. God, I forgot about Savinho, man. Savinho's a footballer, isn't he, as well now? True Dogs with the super chat. True Dogs with a rare positive super chat. Happy with this transfer window. What quality right back is there outside of Livra? Pep needs to evolve our style to get these players firing. I sort of semi-agree. I do wonder if there's someone who isn't 5'5" and isn't a midfielder converted. And that sounds so harsh, Rico Lewis, but it's obviously true. If there's not a 5'10" to 6 foot right back who's strong, aggressive, who can work really hard somewhere, who's got a decent technical ability. The lad, for example, Spaniel was mentioned. A young aggressive. Someone mentioned him. Like, is it El Hilal, something like that? Omar, yeah. Harrison saying Omar El Hilali. I saw him mentioned on Twitter by Alex Barker as well, journalist fella. I mean, someone like him, for example, who young, aggressive, strong defensive right back who likes to get forward from Espanyol. Ring any bells, Zabaleta? You know, maybe something like that. Is there not someone like that? You know, who's because I think Nunes is not the right back. He just isn't, mate. And I get your logic there, and I understand that. I liked Nunes, by the way. He was in my video when I did like right backs that we'd sign. Cambiasso. Yeah, what happened with Cambiasso? I think we saw him as a left back, didn't we? We definitely burned our bridges with Cambiasso. And he took it really badly, didn't he? Does he actually play at right back, Cambiasso? Because he seems to play left back inverted, doesn't he? Koundé's going nowhere. He's staying at Barcelona. Maffeo, yeah. Get Pablo Maffeo back. Eju says, to be honest, we don't have a left winger who beats full-backs and delivering a cross, no right back. One more depth in centre-back. Ake and D is not good enough. Arsenal, Liverpool are solid. They are. You're not wrong, mate. I do worry about the quality of Liverpool and Arsenal. I think they're in a much better place. Look at the Arsenal signings. Let's get Arsenal signings up. And the thing is, I felt the signings were sort of meh until they just got better. The signings got better and better, annoyingly. Zubimendi's a smart player. I don't think Zubimendi's a needle mover for them, but I think he's a smart player. I'm not actually that big on Arsenal signings. I think they're good, but I don't think they're incredible. But I think they're in a much more solid place. They'll win more games simply because they'll concede less goals than us, and that's, I think, the biggest issue there. Zubimendi is a really good player. I don't think he makes them the title favourites. Eze's a quality player. Eze's that would have been a needle mover for us. Gyökeres, I'm on the fence by. Noni, I'm still on the fence with. Musquera and Norgard. You got Max Dowman as an arrival. What's going on, Matt? And Kepa. They were good signings. Liverpool have had an absurd window, haven't they? Yeah, Liverpool have had a really good window. Liverpool keep finding a way to win because they've got the quality, annoyingly. Liverpool have got an awful lot of quality, and they just seem to find a way to win even if they're not playing that well. Sub-navigation, transfers. Current season transfers. So they're about to add Isaac to that as well. Florian Wirtz. I don't think Wirtz has been that impressive, by the way. He'll probably get better, but he generally hasn't. But Ekitike looks really good. Kirkes, Frimpong, Leone. They got to get Gay, and they're going to probably sign Isaac as well. It looks like a really good window for them off the top of already, And we'll see. The thing is, I'm not just being a happy clapper here, but I do truly, hand on heart, believe. I've got no reason to. I'm at probably my lowest ever confidence from Manchester City. I'm so low right now in my confidence, and it could change like that. Also, by the way, nothing wrong with changing your opinion. That's another little thing. Everyone moans about people changing their opinion, but I definitely feel like I definitely feel it's possible that the City side gets better. Like, I just think it is. It's possible that eventually, say Foden does find some form, and Rodri finds his best form. Rodri, Reinders, Nico Gonzalez, Foden, Shirky, they find form, a lot of them, and you get some magicians. And do you know what I think could be a really aggressive side? If you want to go Pete Guardiola with technicality, what you could do, and it's really harsh on the wingers here, but you could have a side where it's sort of like this, where, and I feel sorry for Doku, Marmoush and co, but you could have a side where it's really aggressive like this, and you've got 8 Nori. You've got Vardiol. You've got your man Kusanov with the pace. Excuse me. God, guys. I'm going to put Nunes in. I know, sorry, whatever. I'm trying to do something here. Nico G. And I'm going to put Foden, Shirky, and Haaland. And what I'm going to try and do is I'll show you how City could be really technical if you want it to be. If you wanted to have, overlapping runners, you could have a really solid midfield base of these guys, and then sort of 8 Nori getting forward, and you could have sort of this where you've got Rodri a little bit deeper, and you've got sort of like this. And if you wanted to, you could go really techie with it, where Shirky, Foden keep the ball really well. I know it's very different and it's not aggressive, but it's techie. It's these guys sort of cutting inside, Shirky with his right foot, Foden with his left foot, and I think that could be a really interesting side. With the physicality of Rodri and Nico, Reinders getting forward, and I like the idea of that personally. I think there's something in that in terms of you keep the ball, you got experience in the side. I think you could see something like that. It might not work. It's going to be Donnarumma. Let's be honest. It's going to be Donnarumma. But I can't see how we're not going to find the physicality. Like, I thought Nico Gonzalez, statistically he was like one of the best in the league with the duels and all that kind of stuff. And some might think he's asking about the dream right back. All time, my favourite right back of all time. I really liked Zanetti. I was a big Zanetti fan. I thought Zanetti was an absolute train of a player. Cafu, wasn't it? Cafu and Zanetti, really. Yeah, Lahm, brilliant. But I really liked Zanetti. I thought he was such a fun footballer. Yeah, I think I'd probably say Zanetti. I think he was my... Zabaleta, of course. But Zanetti was like Zabaleta with attacking ability in terms of... I love Zanetti. I think he was brilliant. He was aggressive. Dani Alves was, phenomenal as well, obviously. But Dani Alves, Dani Alves probably... I forgot about Dani Alves, to be fair. Alves is the smartest right back, probably the most technically gifted right back I've probably ever seen, to be fair. Alves an absolute... Alves for Guardiola's side. I've never seen anyone like it. But Zanetti was like Zabaleta on steroids, essentially. Like, Zanetti was Kyle Walker with attacking ability and Zabaleta's attitude. Like, he was ridiculous. Not obviously as fast as Kyle Walker, but just I loved Zanetti. I think he was brilliant. Dani Alves, Cafu. Cafu was amazing as well, but Zanetti had a bit of that Argentinian bite, which I liked. But anyway, I don't know how we're going to play. What I do know is that the teams will look very different by the end of the season, aren't they? It's in the season, so I'm enjoying chatting you guys, by the way. It's nice to sit here just chatting about it. Let's look at the other news that's gone around today, by the way. So, Kusanov's got 2 weeks out, which is fine. It's just he rests for the international game. He'll be all right. He'll be fine. He'll be back for the games after the international break. There was a little bit of news about Jaden Heskey going on loan. I'm fine with that, potentially. To Sheffield Wednesday, if they can even pay their players. Kabori's going to Wrexham. I bet he just wants to be in the documentary, doesn't he? Get Sanya back. Walker's back. Yeah. Sanya was a good player. what's going on here. So, Luca Fletcher joining Ipswich Town. I do miss my days of knowing all the academy players. Like, it's a generation now which I just don't know enough about. I know the big names and I've seen them play clips of him, but I used to watch academy players all the time. Just haven't got time anymore with the kids. I would love, absolutely love, to start watching the games again. I will eventually. So when we look at the players who have to move on, even a little bit later than that era, Tom Fisher. My era went up to like McAtee and Delap and everyone like that. But yeah, players who left to go. As it currently stands, Ortega won't be registered for the Champions League. There's a few hours left, yeah. We're going to miss out on Calvin Phillips. What's going on with him? Like, he hasn't got a loan. He's not a footballer right now. Calvin Phillips could be having a 6 month sat on the sidelines doing nothing. Who else is there to move on? I don't know. Thoughts on Walker's podcast comments of I would trade one Premier League with Europa League for Spurs. Stupid, mate. Why would you even bother saying that? I'd just say, no, I'm not trading anything. I'll just win more. That's what you say. You don't have to say it. He just doesn't have to say it, do you? Carl Walker's an idiot, though, isn't he? So, it's his right to say that for what it's worth, but you just don't say it. Like, anyone who's a captain, you just go. You know if City fans are going to hear it, so you just go, no, I would never give up anything for City. You just say, I just want more. You don't say that, it's... You just refuse to, don't you? So, yeah, I'll leave it here, guys. I'll be live again later if anything happens. For now, though, thanks for watching. In a bit, love you all loads. I'll see you probably in an hour or so. Bye-bye.